I probably think not enough. Okay, and I'm looking at it from where I am, and you're looking from where you are. Because I think that we could never have too much in my mind. I think we sometimes don't understand how people perceive or feel about things that happen. That's me.
Yes.
I mean, what do you mean by that?
I mean, do you think people get offended too easily?
Yes.
Do you think everyone is very uptight about their religion or what the color of their skin is, their sex?
Like people judge you about it and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah.
There's a lot of diversity in the school, to be honest.
Yeah, but still, there's a lot of people that judge you either way. Like, oh, like it's not noticeable when people are like judging each other, but you know, they get into their group of friends and like they like self-segregate themselves and they're like, oh, that kid this, blah, 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 he's transgender, he's gay, he's so gay, all this like negative things and stuff. Like, they say it behind their back.
No, people have no filter or less, so they say whatever they want and whatever they feel, and I don't think people really think before they talk.
Not enough. Like she said, everybody just, say what they feel, without no borders. Just say anything. They don't care who they offend. They don't care who they talk about.
Think there's too much political or social correctness?
I think there's a lot of political correctness, like by far. To a very large extent, I think it goes well over the top.
Do you think there's too much? So people need to dial it back.
Yeah, I think a lot of people dramatize a lot of things and take everything a little bit too far and too seriously when
people get offended too easily.
Way too easily. Well, taken out of context and more or less just put it on a whole nother level.
So do you think there's too much political correctness in the school or not enough?
Yes and no. Political correctness is something that is a part of our society today, so we constantly are aware of it, but at the same time understanding ideas of democracy as they've been expanded to not just voting rights, but rights of various minorities, and are very important to access and be sensitive about. So while cultural sensitivity is very important, political correctness sometimes muddies the water, so to speak. And it's important for us as students, as teachers, as learners to just constantly always question and think about these things and have intellectual discussion about them.
Perfect. Thank you. Do you think there's too much political and social correctness?
In the world or in our school?
School.
Our school? Yes, I actually do.
Why?
People are afraid to say what's on their minds.
Are you?
No, not really.
I think there's not enough.
Why not?
There's not enough political correctness because we don't really talk about it, and there is not really any major rules that we follow, and we don't really talk about anything in politics ever.
Not enough.
There is too much political correctness in the schools, in my opinion. People need to be told how it is, the realities of the truths that are about to exist when they leave these walls, and I think we do enough sugarcoating of a lot of information that could go out and be delivered in a different way.
How do you feel about political correctness?
I feel that in today's day and age, it's making all of the youth way too sensitive to what people say, and that people should just kind of pull themselves up by the bootstraps and, bite the bullet and not necessarily cause a big problem if someone says something you don't like.
Do you think there's too much political correctness in this school or not enough?
Well, in this school, okay, I don't think there's a lot of political correctness that I encounter, okay? But in society, there's way too much political correctness, and when you guys get out of here, there is even greater than that to the millionth power on college campuses, political correctness. And I think that there should not be a concept called political correctness, because the truth is we live in America. Freedom of speech is what we have. As a person of Jewish faith, when they let the Nazis run, go in, I forget where it was, in Chicago or someplace else in Illinois years ago, it was really to expose ideas. The whole idea is to expose ideas, even bad ideas. Now, you don't have freedom of speech to go fire in a crowded theater, because that causes destruction. So you can't do that. But I think political correctness is about you can't even say anything. If you even talk on a subject, it's a problem. And people say things about me because a lot of times I like to go at kids just to show like there should be no political correctness. We love you no matter what, but we're different and it's okay. So I think there is probably a little too much in the school, but I don't think it really occurs much that I see. But in society, it's way too much.
Do you think there's too much political correctness in school or too little? Or not enough?
Okay. Lana, do you think there's too much political correctness in this school?
I'm not too worried about that right now. I like to stay out of all of that. It causes too much stress.
What are your thoughts on political correctness? Do you think it exists in the school?
Yes, I do think it exists.
Do you think it keeps kids from getting together and making connections in school?
Political correctness or social correctness?
Political correctness.
I don't know.
Social correctness, then?
Yes.
Yes. How come?
I don't know.
What do you think about political correctness? Political and social correctness. Do you think it's a problem? Do you think there's too much of it or not enough?
Too much.
Why?
Just cause.
Just cause? Okay.
No, I think there's a lot of it in this school.
Do you think it's too much?
Yeah, too much.
Why?
It just is.
It's just too much. People need to calm down.
Yeah. People just need to chill out,